red, blue, purple light. Red, blue, purple light. Facts. Red, blue, purple light. Red and blue, purple light. Facts. You can get to know the ledger, sacrilegious Sunday to Melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land, focused on the ego. Then I open my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we're stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah. We gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts. Peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light. To the family. Peace, love and light. To the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you, and it's going to provoke you, and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.
Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Welcome, 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 welcome to Know the Ledge Radio. Oh no, KTL, Know the Ledger 444. Melanin Mondays, you are now rocking with the best. Yes, this is your host for the evening, Brother Red Pillar, reporting live and direct. Let me know how we sound on the audio. Today is a very monumental day. You know what I mean? Today is the day where we have finally arrived for our quote unquote end of the year reasoning. All right, with the family. The end of the year reasoning. It's almost a tearjerker, you know what I mean? We doing this whole countdown to 2025, and we about to leave 2024 behind us. And yeah, man, a lot to talk about. You feel me? A lot to talk about. I literally have been in the lab since the show went off yesterday. I probably got a few hours of sleep, but I've been I just been tweaking my presentation, doing more research, new news, new stories are popping up. This is gonna be a very long presentation tonight. You know what I mean? I just gotta put it out there and just say that. I have a guest in the building today. You know what I mean? I have a guest in the building, and I definitely wanted to bless the family with the presence of our good brother before we wrap this year up and whatnot. I feel that it's only right that we get one more time in with the KT aliens and whatnot, dropping some wisdom and some knowledge with my good brother. We got Ross Ben in the building tonight. You know I'm talking about? This is the pregame, you know what I mean? Before we get in the ring and do what we got to do, this is the pregame, and we're going to chop up some game and whatnot. I'm not going to do the roll call because I literally cannot be here for more than an hour. So this is going to be one of those shows where we are in and we are out, you know what I mean? In and out, you know what I mean? But we're going to chop it up, you know what I'm saying? We're going to kick it. We got things to talk about. So let me go ahead and bring my guests on the floor. All right. Let me go ahead and bring the guests into the building. All right. So we could get this build on. Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I open up the floor to our good brother, none other than Ross Ben in the
There we go.
building.
There we go. There we go.
Ross,
Love,
what go
honor,
on?
and respect to the AT alien community.
Yes, yes, yes.
Wow. Boy, I
Yes,
tell you,
yes,
this year,
yes, indeed.
we got a lot to build on. It's a critical time, you know?
Yes, it's a very critical time.
Yeah.
They got nukes going off.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? What you heard this thing about the fog? There's
Nah.
this thing about there's this. It's a fog in Europe. There's a fog upon yonder. You know what I mean? It's just. I mean, where I'm at, it's not that foggy and whatnot.
Uh,
It's not really that foggy, but they're talking about fogs and shit, plane crashing,
uh,
nukes going off. A
Where's the
rapper
nukes going
died.
off at?
Huh?
Where they say these nukes are going off at?
Syria.
Uh,
You know, is it real? They've been doing a lot of provocations over there in Syria. And one of the things that I'm going to point out tonight, and I brought it up yesterday, that I wanted to put people in a mind state that, you know, as a collective, you know, this whole year was kind of like it was foundated. The backdrop of this year was the situation that was going on in Is It Real
yes.
with
The
the
October 7th.
genocide and whatnot.
Yeah, the
So
October.
it's like,
Yeah.
huh?
No, what they kicked off on October 7th, 2023, set
Right,
the tone for 24. You're right.
right.
I agree.
You feel me? And it's not just a
Part
regular
of the reason why we named 24 the prophetic stage
right,
and really stress how you needed to know history, mystery, and prophecy to understand
right.
what you were seeing this year, you know? Because is it
For
really
yeah,
create
yeah,
so
because
much mayhem on the earth, you know?
on the earth, right? And for students of history and students of the Bible and whatnot, and in Scripture, it's like you got a lot to chew on this year. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Based off of what you
mm,
saw. If
mm.
you really paid attention to what was given to you feel me, on this stage, because that's just what this is. This is a grand stage with a lot of bad actors on it. You
Mm,
know, you were given scripture. The situation with Damascus and Syria, the situation with Israel, the situation over here with Donald Trump
mm,
becoming a living,
mm,
breathing pariah slash messiah
mm.
to a group of people. It don't have to be us. You know, people think the world revolves around them and whatnot. No, we don't have one of those type of messiah types right now that we could directly point at, but
I,
they do.
I tell you what, just talking about like how you're just reflecting on the year and everything
Yeah.
we had to digest.
Yes.
I would say this has been the most challenging year to study,
Right.
you know?
Um.
And not so much that it was difficult to make sense of
Pinpoint.
what we're seeing, but how
Right.
it make you feel realizing what you're seeing, you know?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And we also have to put into context that this is one of the first years that we are completely in what is known as the quantum quickening,
Mm,
right?
mm,
So, in this quantum reality that we're in and whatnot, instead of the way that we used to see things on a timeline where it was good and evil and there was up and down and whatnot,
mm. It's
that's not
romance.
how it's going anymore.
Yeah,
You
it's
feel me?
romance. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's quantum, so
Zero and
it's
the
going
one exist at the same time.
right. Shout out to Spence City. You feel me? Like it is definitely going in directions that you have to step back and really take an account as
Mm,
to what it is that you're seeing. And like you said, be mentally prepared to deal with the realities that's being shown to you.
mm,
I was sharing with the family yesterday on the live and whatnot some of the complications that that I was having, from watching the video of the brother getting lynched in the prison in New York. You
mm,
know what I mean? Robert Brooks is what his name is and whatnot. And it was very it did something to my spirit.
mm,
You feel me?
mm,
It did something to my spirit. And I wasn't really like, it bothered me, it rubbed me the wrong way. It just it made me feel very like it put me on point to what it is that what we may be facing with the race shoulders in the next 4 years.
mm,
And it also put a sense of urgency in me to be like, yo, we got to get our shit together. But
mm,
then that also frustrated me because it's like, when are we going to get it together?
mm,
Like, there's all of these petty,
mm,
you know what I mean? People are still on a petty shit. And it's like, yo, y'all don't see these people advancing. Y'all don't see you don't see the moves that's being made. So yeah, but one of the great things that came out of that, they say speak things into existence. After I got off the show, I was on YouTube scrolling and whatnot, and I came across a channel. I believe it was Jason Black's channel, the Black Authority,
mm,
and he was talking that shit. You feel me? He
mm,
was rallying his people to get on the phone and to basically blow up Letitia James, the same woman who went after Trump. They done went after all of these people in New York. Well, it's time to put fire under these New York City official, New York State officials. These blue states where it tends to be killing grounds for our people, all of these democratic run cities and whatnot. You
mm,
would think that these are the places where we would thrive and whatnot. And those tend to be hellholes for people to look like me and you. Like, I'm in Atlanta, Fulton County. They have a jail out here that's basically worse than goddamn Alcatraz.
mm,
You feel me? Like, people are in there dying. I mean, it's horrific and whatnot. The feds had to come in there. This is underneath Fannie Willis and black mayor, black everything, black judge, black mayor. It's a black affair. You
mm,
feel me?
mm,
And they running this shit like a slaughterhouse.
mm.
So I'm like, man,
We got a lot to digest on this year, man. I
yeah,
tell you.
yeah, yeah. You know
But
shit. But it's almost, I'm sorry to cut your wisdom. It's
word.
almost like being in the gym though.
Mm,
And the immense pressure of weight training, right? And the immense pressure of what they call resistance. You know what I'm
mm,
saying?
mm.
It just depends on your mind state. Like, if you
That's
get up in that gym and you ready to push that weight, if you and you see all of the weight stack, you see the plates and everything, and then you're telling yourself, "Oh, I'm finna eat. Like, this is gonna be good for me." Even though I know I'm gonna walk out of there beat to, you know what I mean? I'm gonna
yeah.
be, I'm
I'm gonna
going
be
to be,
tested.
I'm gonna be tested.
I'm gonna
I'm gonna
be
be tested.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
feel me?
You was tested
So
this year for sure.
yes,
We are being
moving in.
tested. This year ain't over. You
Oh
know?
no, it's
Yeah.
and also we always have to preface
Mm,
this is the fiscal year,
mm,
right?
true.
This is the fiscal year and whatnot.
Right. We know the year don't begin in
Yeah,
January and
yeah, guys. We know
this
that.
ain't
Yeah,
really 2025, but
all that.
still, just like when you study a microscope, right?
Right.
Microscope has three lenses on it, and depending on what you're looking at,
Mm.
you need a specific lens, right?
Hmm. Yes,
Count.
sir.
We need different count. When we were in Egypt, we had 5 calendars running
Concurrently.
currently, you know.
Right.
But we need to tap one to see what time it was based on that time reckoning.
Right.
Tapped it, you know.
Right.
So
Right. Right.
because this is like we say the well, I thought the fiscal year started July 1st for a lot of corporations, doesn't it?
Nah.
They
The
got to
the
get
books,
ready.
yeah, the books reset on the 1st of January.
Okay.
It's been said that you should handle your debts
Mm.
right now before the 1st and whatnot. This is when people handle their debts. They pay people that they
Right,
owe,
right.
shit like that. You know what I mean? You should handle
That's
your
the whole
affairs.
idea of black. You want to end in the black and not the red. And you're right. Books
That's a
are.
fact. That's a
Yeah,
fact.
yeah,
Yes, Ethiopia is living on a whole different timeline. Yes,
yeah,
they are. You feel me?
yeah.
And certain countries in the Middle East as well. Completely different timeline. They're not,
Exactly.
they have different calendars and
Exactly.
different timelines.
Exactly.
So
But it's still a good time to check in with, like you say, account for your year. You
that's
know,
a fact.
this is a good time for it. You know, like uh, as well as be synced up with other calendar systems. You know, or
Mm-hmm.
computer systems. You know,
Right.
so even the
Right.
word calendari, calendar. Right. We should avoid or be mindful how we use it because it comes from the Latin calendari, which basically means time to collect debt. So
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Time to collect debt.
Time
So
to
oh,
collect that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So the whole idea that a calendar is a cycle of time for paying bills, you know.
The first
We
of
do
the
have,
month.
yeah, we do
It's
have
the
to be
first
on
of the
another
month.
time rhythm for sure.
Yes.
To be mentally and emotionally and physically healthy. Some people deal with the Mayan calendar, some people deal with a Kemetic calendar. There's a lot of other indigenous uh
The Baktoon.
yeah, time
You
reckoning
know.
systems, and we should be in sync with them. uh
Yes.
but the calendar, we all got debts to pay. We all caught
Right.
up with this fiscal reality that we have
Contracts.
to, be mindful
Mm-hmm.
of. And it's also the reality that living in a society that this is the primary time reckoning system, right? Where most people in your community, they on this time, they on this frequency.
Right. The technosphere. Time in the technosphere. Jose Arguelles. Shout out to Blue Pill. Put me onto that book.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that was a profound read.
But just to close that thought, that the fact that we in this community and this society where most folk are time reckoning with the calendari,
Right.
to get an understanding of how we synchronizing with them.
To lock in with them, right. And be on it and be on that time that they on.
Exactly. It's
Right.
it's worth
Right.
reckoning.
So, what are your thoughts about eventually adopting somewhat of a different calendar, a calendari that's outside of this Julius Gregorian calendar? Like, let's say a calendar that's more in tune with the Baktunes or more in tune of what Ethiopia may be doing.
Well, I think
Some
it's inevitable. I
it's
think
yeah,
it's
inevitable eventually, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's inevitable, and I feel like we're progressing towards that.
Yes, I
So
believe so too.
I feel we're progressing towards that. When I relate to the Kemetic community, Baba Patah out of Boston,
Yes.
and Baba Mfadishi in New York, and
Mhm.
going forward and going, I don't like to say back, but going forward, looking in the 80s and 90s with that sister Ricketta Wimbley and the
Right.
Calendar Project. You know, they've been laying that foundation for us to be able to be more in sync with natural time, organic time, and, you know, have a relationship with space time that was more aligned with what our ancestors had. And a part of our redemption and reclamation is because the reality is if I can control your time, I don't have to
Reality.
control your
Right.
space. I don't have to
Say that
control.
again.
If I can control your time, I don't have to control your space.
Space. That was deep.
And so, because time, space time is one
Space time.
fabric,
Right.
And
That was
so
bars.
that's the biggest issue with the calendari. Time to collect debt.
Yes.
How, if you ain't putting in that 8 hours to someone else,
Right.
what's your reality,
Right.
So why say getting in line with more indigenous natural time reckoning is inevitable, but it's like very few people are living it now because you have to be outside of that debt too. You got to
Right.
be. You can't.
Can't be
You
tied down. Right. To
can't be
their
worrying about when's payday and when is mortgage due and this due and if that's what keeps you locked into the calendari is debt obligations. If
right.
you
To
didn't
Rome.
if you didn't have these debt obligations, the work week wouldn't matter, the weekend wouldn't matter, right? Every day would be a strong beginning.
Listen, let me share something with you. The freer that I've become, right? The
You
more
forget what day,
time,
you forget what
right,
day it is.
right,
Monday,
and
Tuesday, what, Saturday?
right, and it is certain payments that put me back in alignment. Like, damn, okay, it's
Right,
Sunday, I gotta
right.
send some out.
It's
But
it's the calendar, yeah.
right, the more I began to kind of like, like in the Matrix when he was unplugging himself.
Hmm.
Mr. Anderson, when
Yeah,
he took the red pill and he woke up and he was inside of the pod and he began to unplug himself.
right.
So the more I began to unplug myself from what they call the matrix, which would be a vassal state, right? Because we live in a vassal state. And because we are in a vassal state currently, we don't control the resources. We don't control things like the real estate and whatnot. So we're basically living on, we're paying taxes to live on our own land. You
Hmm.
feel me?
Hmm.
And that's called being a vassal and whatnot. It's basically they're like, yo, we'll let you live, but you just got to pay
Hmm.
like you weigh type shit.
Hmm.
And the more I break away from that, the more I move away from that, the more I, kind of unplug from that. I gotta ask my whiz, like, yo, what is today?
What day is it? Yeah,
What day
yeah.
is it?
Hey, I found myself in 24 asking, what month is it?
Ooh, that's real freedom.
Well, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but it's weird, It's
Right,
weird.
the trash day. That's like
Yeah,
I done missed a few trash days because I'm like, wait a minute, it's Tuesday already? You
yeah,
feel me? I gotta get up. You know when you hear the truck coming,
right.
because in my little cul-de-sac, you can hear my son will be like, garbage truck, garbage truck. I'll be like, oh ish, I didn't even put out and I'm running, I'm racing. You feel me? to go and put it out because I don't have and to this year more than any other year for some reason. It has something to do with the quantum quickening, but it also has something to do with the fact that this whole space-time thing has shifted. The poles have shifted. Time as we know it has shifted. What we knew as 24 hours have shifted. So we're kind of like off a little bit trying to find our ground.
Our relationship.
That's why our relationship, that's why the next 4 years are going to be of the utmost importance. I was sharing with the family that, you know, if we really reflect on the 4-year cycles, okay, we could begin to see something. So we are in 2024, but one of the last years there was like monumental, you know, one for the record books was 2020. And then when we go back another 4 to 2016, that was one of those years that's unforgettable. And everybody's like, it was a shift. Things happened. Trump became president. A lot of things happened. Then 4 years before that is 2012. So it's like I'm paying attention to these 4-year blocks and whatnot. So I'm looking at 28 in front of me. Like that is going to be monumental. It's going to be the buildup leading into 2030. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah. I'm just paying attention, you know. But I'm really enthusiastic about the 9-year, which is 2025. You know, and I would even throw it out there for people who may not follow the, you know, they, you know, we all have our own perception of time. We just was breaking that down. But when January 1st, 2024 hit, I mean, God damn it, this shit took a whole nother energy from what 2023 had. You know what I mean? And I'll be able to show that. You had dude jumping over, attacking the judge. You feel me? That was the first thing that kicked off this year and whatnot. You know what I mean? You had Cat Williams on January the 3rd, and I caught that. I thought it was. I was like, well, what the hell is this on my timeline? I didn't have no idea.
Alien mall, where aliens were
aliens in the mall
in Miami.
In Miami, popping out.
And,
you feel
and
me?
The grill with in the backyard in Vegas.
Right after the same week, the same strong end. You had the non. Yeah, so started with a bangington,
and it's ending more dramatic.
Man, this shit don't even want to end right. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
What's the latest info with these star nations and drones, and what's the latest you've heard on that?
Yeah, that shit was a distraction, fam. You know, are the 9 shirts available with the purchase of the tickets? They are available for the purchase of the bundle tickets. We have 2 ticket tiers. One is the regular tier, and the other one is the bundle tier, and that's where you'll be able to get your shirt, your 9 shirt. The mods will drop the link, and I'll drop the link as well, and the mods will drop the link, and yeah, we got you with them shirts. Want y'all to be fresh to death. You know when something is a distract, you know when something is quote unquote media distractions when 7 days later it's not even spoken about. Like that whole drone shit was one of the biggest stories, and now it's not even spoken. It's crickets. I'm calling my peoples in Jersey like, y'all all right? They're like, yeah, they talking about some whole nother shit. What about the fog? What about the fog? So somebody was asking me, does the fog have anything to do with the portals that the Pope opened up? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, God damn it. That's a great point. You know what I mean? Because the boy was running around opening up portals and shit. Then all of a sudden you got fogs everywhere. And the fogs are not just regular, the fogs are getting people sick. Okay. I got taken down what's today? I got taken down on Saturday, like about 5 o'clock. I started getting like a migraine. My head was hurt. I was in front of the blue screen a lot doing my research. I just started feeling down and whatnot, and I had to go down. I had to go lay down, and yeah, it was a long night, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
It was a long night, and before all of that happened, I was in the backyard, you know, just taking in some air. You know what I'm saying? Smoking some ganja. And yeah, man, it was one of them things. And I said it, I was like, whatever that stomach virus that's going around, that's knocking people down, you know what I mean? Be very mindful of that. I put the people on point. I'm like, be very mindful. And I also have to keep in mind that I live in the same area where there was a chemical plant explosion, and about there was plumes of smoke in Atlanta where is called Conyers, which is right outside of Atlanta, about 30 to 40 minutes outside of Atlanta. And a chemical plant basically was up in flames, and it was making the residents sick and whatnot. This was maybe what, about 2 months ago, maybe
Wow.
2 or 3 months ago. So I don't know what's going on in the air type shit. You know what I mean? I just know that it's we just gotta roll with the punches. You know what I'm saying? We just gotta roll with the punches, man. You know? And shout out to all of my truck drivers. We got a lot of people that listen to this show. They love them 3 hour shows. They be on the road and whatnot. They say it gets them through their shifts and whatnot. And they were in my inbox. I had 3 people in my Instagram. I put a story up about the fog, and 3 truck drivers, they don't even know each other. They were like, fam, this shit is different. It was like, I had one dude said he had to pull over and just call it the night, because he was like, I'm not about to do one of those pileups on a highway. You feel me? He was like, I'd rather just he said I had to pull over and basically miss my appointment of whatever load he was dropping off. But he said I wasn't going to do that fog.
Wow.
I wasn't going to do the fog. You know what I mean? People were swerving and shit. So, yeah.
So stay in your lane.
Yes. And I also have to put that we are underneath a black moon. This is we're going to go and I'm going to pull up the whole thing about the black moon for the family out there. This is a ritual that we're going through tonight with this lecture underneath this black moon. We're about to cook. Shout out to Evil D and Buckshot. You know what I mean? This is going to be a very powerful portal that's already opened up, and we're going to take full advantage. My ritual for the moon is my lecture. That's my ritual. You know what I mean? That's how I ritualize this quote unquote last moon of this monumental year.
Yes, we're coming together.
Yeah, man. I was looking at the one that we did in 2024. Let me see if I could pull up this cover. This cover kicked ass, boy. Ooh, this was a badass cover. I damn near forgot it. I've been going through so many lectures. I forgot about this damn thing. Let me see. Let me pull it up. It was the dude with the crystal ball. The brother with the crystal ball with the cat right there. I was like, yeah, it just reminded me the build up to that was crazy.
It was.
You feel me? But I'm always mindful of when we get together and we wrap this thing up, you know what I mean? Because boy, oh boy, sometimes you it'd be so much going on that you could forget, and to forget and not be able to reflect is not a good thing. You know what I mean?
I will say, I wanted to extend gratitude to you because the way 24 was with me.
Yes.
I didn't even think I was going to do a 25 vision.
Right.
Or 24 review.
Right. You was gonna sit it out.
I was just like, I'm cool, right? But
right.
You and others inspired me, And to be honest, here, December 30th, I'm glad I did
I'm
because
glad you did too.
it's part of processing where I'm at in space time involved reviewing this year.
Me too.
And I will say this, right? Astrologically, real quick. When, all right, we're talking about the fabric of space time, right?
Yes.
Saturn rules time, Jupiter rules space, right?
Yes.
When Jupiter and Saturn are the active planets for a year, for a time,
Mm-hmm.
right? You witness what's going on.
Oh, for sure.
When Mars and Venus are the active planets, you feel it.
Okay.
A slight but subtle difference,
Slight but subtle difference. Okay.
but profound.
Right,
You know?
right, right. Cause
Mars and Venus is the electromagnetic
right.
energy moving
Energy,
the
right.
cell. Mars and Venus is the hormonal secretions of your endocrine system,
Okay.
right? Particularly Venus.
Right.
And Mars and Venus, because of where they were in the beginning of 24, they had a very
Mm.
stress, like deep, if we I don't know how deep you want to go on the YouTube. I know we're going to review these things tonight, but
Okay.
Mars was conjunct Mercury retrograde in the beginning of last year. Same
Okay.
time, Venus was in a martial house. So we could say Yin was in the house of Yang.
Yin was in the house of Yang.
Yin was in the house of Yang.
Woo! Here,
You
real
know?
quick. That was the flyer that we had for 2024 40 forecast.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was leading up to that was what we did exactly a year ago. Well, it was 12/28/23. This right here, I need to post this one. This was a classic. This right here was fire.
Uh,
Me,
uh.
Blue, and you was cooking in the kitchen,
Yeah,
and you brought it. You predicted Donald Trump by utilizing, and that's one of the things that I could say about your forecast, Rosben, is you bringing out the quote unquote, you doing the charts.
yeah, yeah.
You giving the science.
Well,
I'm not to negate what nobody else. I'm
no,
sorry.
I hear
Touch
you,
your
but I
wisdom.
will say, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had the fortunate opportunity of studying with an elder astrologer. I ain't
Right.
learned this by just pushing buttons on a computer and reading whatever. No.
Right.
Uh, there was a man, he's an ancestry now. Okay.
Right.
His name was Kofi Burgi.
Kofi Burgi. Yes.
Okay.
Salute to him.
Went to Edison High School in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Okay. And if you study Edison High School, one of the hallmarks of Edison High School, it was
Yes.
the one high school that sent the most young people to Vietnam.
Damn.
Any school in the country. Okay.
Wow.
So
Like that?
yeah, it was like that. So Kofi Burgi was one of them. This man
Okay.
went to Vietnam. And to be honest, when you hear the things he did in Vietnam,
His story.
he was like one of those magical Negroes, man.
Right. I heard that you had to be one of those to make it through Vietnam.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
wasn't no
yeah.
joke.
Yeah, he
The life
saved
expectancy was
platoons
16
and
seconds.
blew up bridges, and he lived a miraculous life. But when he came home, I'm setting the stage. When he came home, he was traumatized,
Right.
right? And he healed himself through astrology,
Right.
study of astrology.
So
Then he felt like, you know what? This can be a healing for our community. He opened up Kofi's Astrology Bookstore in North Philly.
I know about Kofi. AA used to take us up there back in the days, and he used to
That's what I'm
selling
telling
DVDs and stuff, and we used to
you.
buy the books.
This is what I'm telling you, man. This man.
Okay.
So when I moved to Philly in what, about 95, 96, right?
Okay. Yes.
For whatever reason, this man, first he said he wasn't even doing no more charts. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But he did my chart, and when he did
Right.
my chart, he was like, "You're gonna be my student."
Right.
And
Saw it in your cards.
yeah, and so the thing was though, right? When he became my ancestry, his wife, his empress,
Mm-hmm.
uh, his clientele, these people, they older than me. They another generation,
Right.
older than me.
Mm-hmm.
She felt like out of all his students, right? She felt his clientele should be like like I would be the one providing the services for them, right?
For them, right. Like
So,
an apprentice.
well, he was an ancestry at this point, but they
Right.
still wanted consultations. They still wanted, you know, the
Mm-hmm.
service. But what it did though was an opportunity to really get tight with this thing,
Right. Sharpen your sword.
because these people were older than me. They were used to Kofi Burgi schooling them. So I knew how I had to come, I couldn't be a slacker and
You couldn't
just
slack, right. You
shoot
couldn't
from
play with
the
it.
hip. I had to really lock in, you know.
So
And so and you have to know, when in the 90s, when did Windows come out? 95. So before 95, we didn't even have personal computers. Okay.
right.
So when we were doing a chart, we'd have the books, we'd have the ephemeris,
Mm-hmm.
table of houses, you know.
Eight books will be open
Yeah,
at
yeah,
the same
yeah.
time.
And the calculator and pencil and pen, you'd
It
have
was
to,
serious.
you know, calculate the charts, right?
Right.
And so this was the uh this was the arena I learned from. Okay.
Kudos to you that you was able to make it through in those years before it got digital. And you were able to pick up that real organic type of learning modality.
Well, that's why I'm sharing it, because I do think it is different when you learn it in situations like that than
Yes.
just pushing a button. To be able to push a button and pull up a chart is a wow. What?
Right. It's innovative.
Yeah. And like, I think people take for granted how astrology, like how I see astrology being used now, how you can have
Yes.
an app on your phone, and your chart is right there, and you get, daily readings on the aspects and
Right.
all of that. Like, before the computer, to do a couple of charts might take all morning or all that,
Mm,
just to
right.
calculate them, not even interpret them, just to calculate them and form them, you know?
Right.
And so I like I love the community that's evolving around the science of astrology. I love it.
Yes.
Uh, but I do think because that community is growing because of the technological access to it, a part of it is astrology is taken for granted. Like
Mm-hmm.
what a golden opportunity is to make pictures of the sky of us at a certain time in a certain place,
Right.
and then to be able to get keyword meanings from that picture of the sky, and even get some type of vision of like what might happen through a time frame, like you know, our ancestors, like in the Nile Valley, in the Congo Valley, and in Central America, and where we've inherited a lot of astrological science that took
Mm-hmm.
generations of attention, right?
Right. Right.
That can be taken for granted.
It can.
And then the art and science as it's practiced today, that if you didn't have the computer and be able to just push a button, like really what you're doing,
Right.
it's taken for granted. Being able to pull up a picture of the sky in a couple of seconds, push of a button,
Mm.
no, calculating or because something else about astrology I'll mention on this level and I'll be quiet. When I was in high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
I, like probably many of us, I had a calculus class, I had a trigonometry class.
I remember
And
those.
if I could, like, just speak about them in retrospect, I remember nothing of them. They were totally non-relevant classes. Okay.
Right.
But like learning how to do charts and
Right.
make pictures of the sky, you have to learn calculus and trigonometry,
Yes.
right?
That was
And
not for the weary minded.
me learning astrology, I actually gained the insight on calculus and trigonometry that a whole year of school and a teacher
Couldn't give you.
couldn't impart on me, because until you are
Hands
attempt,
on.
until you are attempting to make a picture of the sky,
Right.
you'll see no relevance
In
in
it.
calculus and trigonometry in your life. But once you understand what you're calculating,
Dope.
a picture of space-time, you
Mm.
see, it's like it clicks different in your cognition. And I appreciate astrology for that too.
Right.
Yes.
No, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. I pulled up something and I know, we got this lecture coming up in about an hour. And but you mentioned something about the reading that we did in 2024, and we talking about these charts. And I don't want to put you to work
Nah,
before you
I'm,
got to go to work
I'm
and
ready.
whatnot.
I'm ready. I'm
You
here. I'm
feel me?
ready. Excited. Like,
Okay,
yeah,
so I
yeah.
wanted to I want to pull this chart up real quick. Is that okay? This
Please.
is from the 2023 lecture that we did. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yes.
So, family, if you are not familiar with this science, please, bear with us. The good brother is a master teacher. We're gonna be able to learn a sacred science moving forward and whatnot. And this can also apply to your personal life, your children, your people that you are in relationships with, family members, deceased family members, ancestors, it goes beyond saying and whatnot. This is something that is proven, right, on many occasions to be right and exact science and whatnot. And this is the science that the brother applies when he gives us the prophetic stages of 2025. And he did it for 2024. And he hit so many things on the head. So we're just going to give a little, we're going to walk through. It's not going to give, we're going to walk through this slide and whatnot. And we'll have him break some things down for you so we could get a better understanding about this sacred science. Okay. So the prophetic stage of 2024, let's move into the next slide. All right. Ross Ben, 2023, a pivot of time, classical lecture that we did.
And that was the name of that year, was a pivot in time. We said it was
Yes.
a pivot for two things, two main reasons. One, the slowest planet in our solar system, Pluto, was transitioning into Aquarius, out of
Yes.
Capricorn. If my memory serves me correctly, Pluto had been in Capricorn since 2019. And it was going to be in Aquarius until 2044. And it was making that transition in 2023.
Yes.
Slowest moving planet, when it makes a pivot, it's a pivot in time. But the other reason was because of the artificial manipulation of time that many people have been experiencing as the so-called Mandela effect.
Right.
Which would be, I think, correctly called the Philadelphia experiment effect, because Mandela doesn't have a time manipulation device in South Africa,
Yes.
But some cats up here in Philly do. So,
Yes, they do.
And that's that picture right there, the USS Eldridge. Some people might be familiar with that, but I don't mean to get spun out. I'm just explaining why we
you're doing the knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You're doing the knowledge.
but why that was going to be relevant is because the manipulators of time seem to be working on this 40-year rhythm that
Right.
Philadelphia experiment occurred in 1943. The Montauk experiment, which was kind of like a replication of the experiment of the Philadelphia experiment, but occurred in Montauk, New York. They say that occurred in 1983.
83.
And so the next 40-year rhythm
Juncture
would have been 2023.
Now, interestingly enough, that you speak on that, I meant to call you the other day because they came out with the remote viewing classified document on Mars.
Wow.
And you just put me on to real remote viewing from, it was after I saw the video, I was convinced, I wasn't a skeptic anymore. I knew what I was looking at, and I knew that there were groups of people who literally can remote view, and you show and prove that, right?
Definitely.
So this was 1984 that this quote unquote remote viewing took place, this classified report about Mars and giants and pyramids 40 years ago. I just had to share that with you. But I'll go to the next slide. So here's the space-time portals that he's speaking of, family. And this is known in pop culture as the Philadelphia experiment. It is available for everybody to do the research on. This, friends, is not conspiracy theory. This is a real situation that they tried their best to cover up and whatnot. They even made a movie about it.
Yes.
Okay.
And so according to Well, I will say I had an opportunity to meet Al Bielek, Duncan Cameron, the two men that say they fell in the space-time hole in 1943 and were pulled out of the space-time hole by uh what's that boy? John von Neumann, who's the scientist, right?
Yes.
That facilitated these experiments, were pulled out of the space-time hole in Montauk, New York in 83. I
Mm.
did have an opportunity to meet them and hear this out of their own mouth.
Right.
You
And
know?
feel the energy.
Yeah. Like suss them out.
Yeah.
Like,
Size them up.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this
What
thing,
was your conclusion?
well, all right. Duncan Cameron didn't speak. Okay.
Okay.
Duncan Cameron was traumatized. Imagine you fall through a hole in space-time,
And
right?
yeah.
Some real wild, unexplainable things happen to you, getting caught up in a armed service experiment, a naval experiment.
Yes.
You know how traumatized you would be, and then you. So this man catapulted through time, and then he's sitting down with me. And at this time, my locks were pretty long. My
Right.
locks went to like my ankles. Right?
Right.
Yo, he was tripping.
Right.
He
He
was
coming out the
he was like, trying to figure out where he was. And
well, at least you ain't had no face tats. He would have really been tripping.
right.
Imagine that.
So he didn't speak, and his
Okay.
his trauma would have, like, I guess, there are actors that could
Pull
act
that
the
off.
way,
Right.
but he seemed authentic to me.
Mm-hmm.
And uh the other boy, Al Bielek, he did most of the speaking, right?
Yes.
And his he did not appear to be making it up. He appeared, even though it was fantastical, some of the
Right.
things he was saying,
Saying. Right.
uh it appeared authentic to me. But then,
Interesting.
we say, like False Mulder, I want to believe.
Right.
That's the reality too. Like I'm in these dudes' presence.
Right. Right.
It was amazing,
Yes.
and I, you know, listened with open ears. You know,
Okay. I'm gonna go to the next slide. No, that's beautiful. I'm glad that you were able to actually experience that. You feel me?
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
So
you've been to Tucson and you met my elder out there,
yes.
Alasui, right?
Yes.
He helped another brother. His name is Bob Uri. Okay. So in the UFO community, it's gone through a lot of evolutions, right?
Mm-hmm.
The UFO community at this time was called MUFON.
Move on.
Okay. It's an
Yes.
acronym, MUFON, Mutual UFO Network,
Okay.
right? So Bob Uri was a big man in MUFON. Okay.
Yes.
He had a lot of connections. And so he was ahead of his time. He rented the Philadelphia Convention Center or the Pennsylvania Convention Center, huge convention center in the heart of the city, right? You know, like if he got Atlanta's convention center. You know how big convention
Yeah,
centers
big,
are.
yeah. Shit is huge.
And he got
It's like
some,
3 of them out here.
and he got some of the largest names in the like MUFON network to come. So like I also had an opportunity to sit down with who's the boy that the original scholar that dropped all that Sumerian stuff. What's his name? Uh,
Not Sitchin.
yeah, Zachariah.
Zachariah Sitchin?
Yeah,
Okay.
Zachariah Stitch, and I met him. I met the boy who uncovered the faces on Mars.
Okay.
Uh,
Was Peter Moon there?
yeah, Peter Moon was there. I met him. I got to, so because this is what happened. My friend, my brethren, my elder Alasawi, right, helped uh, bankroll or finance Bob Urey in this venture. He
Right.
rented the whole convention center, and like he was ahead of his time. As like if he did this thing now, would it have needed any promotion? As,
Mm.
as so many people are
It was gonna sell
interested
itself. Right.
in this
But back then it
phenomenon.
was underground.
Back then it was underground, so it was a handful of people there,
That
you
showed
know.
up.
And
Right.
so Bob Urey felt indebted to my brother Alasawi.
Yes.
So what he would do would be like set up individual sessions with these top billers, you know,
Mm-hmm.
where Alasawi could just be like in a conference room and sit and speak with them directly, you know?
Right. That's before the internet. So it's like instead of Googling something, you basically had source right there where you could extract information that was life changing. The same way if somebody goes down a rabbit hole or they come across a YouTube video that changes their life in that
Exactly.
way.
Exactly. So I had my friend, my elder Alasawi was like, yo, Roz, come in here with me, you know? So I
Right.
got to sit in with several of these cats. Uh, but the one that like impressed me the most was the crew from the Montauk experiment. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, Al Bielek, uh, and them boys, Cameron Duncan and Peter Moon. Yeah.
Nah, that's beautiful. I'm glad that you got to experience that in real life
What?
versus heresy. But look, we are short on the time.
Oh yeah, I
I
know I've been
I
running my
do
mouth.
want to point out that this slide right here, my good brother, is a prediction. Anybody that's been rocking with us for the year of 2024, you know that I dedicated like 3 shows on AI reaching its Skynet phase
Uh,
in Gaza.
uh,
Okay, they went forward and they initiated a AI war that they didn't tell everybody about. You know that everybody is in bed with each other. It didn't come up in the election. It didn't come up on mainstream media. It doesn't even come up on Joe Rogan and all of them because big tech is involved, OpenAI and all of them. But literally, they are using AI to decimate babies and women and elderly people
uh,
over there. Not just that's why they're going so ham in the whole region now
uh,
because it's all AI controlled. So Syria, Lebanon, Iran, and Gaza is all getting that AI treatment. They have two, I can't even say the name of the systems because literally they cut the live when I did the shows and whatnot, just by saying the name of it. They got these algorithms that are out here clipping you. So the fact that this is here, it definitely is a prediction. It's a prophetic prediction because we're literally in that age right now. Then in 2024, which will go down as the year of the robot or the humanoid. If AI, if 2023 was the year of Chat GPT and the chatbot, 2024 is the year of the robot or the humanoid, because this is the year that Elon rolled out the Optimus, you know what I mean? And Kim Kardashian did a photo shoot like she was on a date with a robot. I mean, we're here now. So
And
no,
I do have some insight on that we'll share tonight.
yes,
We review 24.
yes,
Did
yes.
talk about there were going to be additional technological innovations that were driven by ego focused big men, it was
Yes,
like that Elon Musk character.
definitely. And
His
he's throwing his weight around as we speak. They calling him President Musk.
Wow.
That's how ego driven, and that's how it, and the inauguration didn't even happen, Ross, and they already calling him President Musk, and
Wow.
he's talking greasy to the MAGAs right now.
Uh,
He's holding his nuts. He's talking greasy to them, like y'all can't tell me nothing. So yeah, we not to mention, of course, Donald Trump, one of the biggest egos on the planet. Real quick before we wrap this up, my good brother, and I just want to say thank you for your time. I know that your time is very precious. I appreciate your presence, and I wish man. Well, now that I'm looking at the slides, man, we this is monumental. It's you was hitting everything on the nose. One of the main things that I want to leave the family with is Pluto and Aquarius that we witnessed in 2024, just a few months ago, damn near a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, we locked in. When was that exactly, if I could recall? But we are here. So could
yeah,
we briefly just walk through Pluto and Aquarius that will last from 2023 to 2044?
absolutely. Well, Aquarius is all things 11th house, right? And it's the sign in the house where we come together. So when we're our social community self is our Aquarian self. Okay. And Pluto, the big keywords associated with it is truth. So our relationship to truth is Pluto. You know how sometimes they say the truth hurts, right?
Yeah.
And the truth,
And the truth will set you free, right?
yeah, the truth will set you free. What else? They say it's an offense but never a sin, right? So those are all Plutonian dynamics, and our relationship to truth
Yes.
is, you know, expressed in where Pluto is in our chart. And another key word associated with Pluto is power.
Mm.
Our relationship to power. Are we the victim or the villain in our life story? Do we use our power justly, or do we abuse our power? You know, Pluto tells us all that. And I would uh, put one more keyword to Pluto in this discussion because it makes that your theme song now makes me think of it. Because we say pressure bust pipe or
Yes.
pressure make a diamond, right? So Pluto is Vulcan, the volcano, right? And that is a natural expression of pressure, volcanic eruption, right? And even the eruption, it seems destructive, right? But those that live on and near volcanic earth know that the soil is like you know, amazing,
Yes.
and a lot of productive things come out of eruptions, you know? So
Yes.
that whole dynamic, Pluto rules that too. Now,
Mm.
and so that's going to be in Aquarius to 2044, right?
Yes, sir.
So uh we did
Rep.
say that like that year 2023 that Pluto moving into Aquarius, labor unions were going to like be really big. We also
Mhm.
said that there were going to be a lot of revolutions, a lot of like coups and
Yeah.
turnovers in governments, and there was going to be when Aquarius is very active, government is less hierarchical. It's
Right.
more community centered, you know, more
Mhm.
community and socially, civically run,
Right.
so that governmental powers were going to be minimized. So
And
those,
that's what they talking about with this new administration on the surface, of course.
well, we see it happening.
Yes,
Yeah,
we do.
you know, but these were visions for 2023. But because Pluto's such a slow moving planet, the seeds for them were planted in 23, and we saw them sprouting in 24, particularly with the government thing.
Right.
There were a lot of revolutions in
All
20,
over Africa.
yeah,
Mhm.
and there was a lot of labor empowerment in 23, particularly with the auto union.
Yes, it was. The
And
strikes.
yeah, the strikes
Um,
that
I
year.
I remember the RNC. They brought up the labor dude and he was talking his shit, bro.
Mm,
He got up there and he was talking so much shit that the Republicans was looking around like, yo, who invited homie here? Because he's talking that shit that we not on. He was like really heavy on the labor unions. And it was almost like he was like a Wreck-It Ralph because he was barking on the oligarchs and all of these billionaires that was in the building and whatnot. So yeah, I saw that take place in real time.
yes. So yeah.
Interesting.
And you know that's going to be Pluto will still be in Aquarius this upcoming year in 25. So we will
I don't mean to
see.
cut your wisdom.
Yes.
Didn't Amazon go on strike? They was holding people's packages back. I got packages that I was supposed to send to Canada. They was on strike, couldn't send it out there.
Uh.
Amazon just went on strike. You
Yeah.
know, so people they said Whole Foods is unionizing in Philly and whatnot. So yeah, we seeing that right now.
Yeah. That's still going to continue. Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely. The idea of coming together and working as one is going to be empowering and influential through 24, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. Because again, Aquarius rules the part of us of how we come together, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
We
So,
need that.
but on the flip side, right? The way things manifest astrologically, it isn't always like what we say. There's always a flip side. You got to see the flip side of things too, right?
Indeed.
And so Aquarius rules what we experience in our life, what we will call impersonal control.
Mm,
Impersonal control. And what an impersonal control is something that nobody tells you to do it, right?
right.
No one is going to
Watch
hold you,
over you.
yeah,
Right.
hold you personally accountable, right? But
Yes.
because of the uh, fabric of community and society that you live in, you're probably going to decide to do it. Okay.
Okay.
And I think one of the best examples we can look at is the cell phone.
Right.
Because if someone came to you, Red Pill, and was like, yeah, I'm going to give you this device and you got to pay for it. You're going to have to pay for it. You're going to have to subscribe to it.
Mhm.
But I'm going to
Right.
use this device to monitor you and surveil you and mess with your mind psychologically.
Right.
Uh,
Stalk you.
yeah, just. So here, if if
Right.
if somebody came like that, right? You'd be like, nah, man, get out of my face.
Right.
But the demands of living in an electronic,
Existing. Right. And this electronic digital economy
yeah, this
is so
electronic,
overwhelming.
yeah. I mean, you would appear to be a fool, missing out on a lot of opportunity
Right.
if you chose not to engage with that technology, right?
Yes.
So that is an example of an impersonal control.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And when Aquarius is active, that is another dimension that's active in our reality that it might express in a lot of ways, you know?
Yes.
And I think one of the most challenging ways it could possibly express, my good brother, who's an ancestry now, Aki Becca,
Mm-hmm.
he brought this concept to our awareness. He called it the relative persecution ratio.
I remember you broke that down for us.
Yeah, the relative persecution
Persecution
ratio.
ratio. How
Everyone
much
has
can you take? Right. What's your
everyone
threshold?
has one.
Right.
Everyone has a relative persecution ratio.
Mm.
For red pill, they might need to push 8 buttons.
Right.
For California, they might need to push 12 buttons,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's relative, but
How many buttons for us?
everyone has a persecution ratio where after they've pushed X number of buttons or set X number of algorithms against you, or right, AI don't check for you because for whatever, AI got
Right.
feelings about you or something, right?
Yeah. That's the shadow ban. The
Yeah.
all
Like
that. Yeah, you got no
everyone,
engagement.
yeah. So that thing, that relative persecution ratio is the shadow side of a Pluto and Aquarius. That
Dope.
uh, the impersonal controls and the these corporations being able to push buttons. Because what's a corporation? According to Black Law Dictionary,
Corpse.
an entity without a soul
Facts.
able to do business.
Facts.
That's what a corporation is.
That is a fact. Look,
So,
my brother, I don't want to cut your wisdom,
oh
but
yeah, I know I'm running my
because
mouth.
I don't want to start our
Sorry.
lecture late. You feel
Yeah,
me?
I'm
But
with
if
you.
you keep going in,
You're
we're gonna
right.
have to start it late. You know what I mean?
My
So
bad.
I don't want to deprive
I don't want to do
the,
that
the
either.
Melanin Monday family, the KTLians. Y'all are in the
Uh,
building
uh,
deep,
uh,
and
uh,
it's all
uh,
love. You feel me? I got
uh,
love for y'all,
uh,
and we gonna keep feeding you. If you want to do a few hours with us, I would say go ahead and get your ticket and pull up. You know what I mean? If that's not something that you're able to do, then we are definitely going to catch up with you. I don't know when the next time you'll be able to chop it up with us together, but we'll make it. We'll try our best in 2025 to make the connection again and
yeah,
to bring y'all some of this information. But I was
yeah,
just giving y'all some insight as to the wisdom that the brother possesses and the modalities in which he's going about doing what he has to do and how he was able to cause certain things and what you have to look for in a few at 8 o'clock when we do the 2025, because I'm very eager to see what 2025 has to offer as I
mm,
prepare myself mentally and
mm,
emotionally to move into this new fiscal year,
mm,
because this was a bumpy ride. You know what I mean? This one right here, 2024 was trying me, bro. I'm
mm,
gonna keep it a buck. This shit was
mm,
trying me,
mm.
but I made it. You know what I mean? So I want to be able to look in the mirror tonight and just be like, whoo, man, you got something. You know what I mean? I got to get ready for 2025. So I need a forecast. I'm not going into this bitch blind. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I am not going, even with the work that Ross gave us for this going into 2024. That's why I was on this show saying, do not be distracted by the elections and what I call the shit show. Why I was able to say that is because Ross Ben gave me the Google glasses to look into the future, and he helped to save me from being emotionally trampled. Yes, the Zoom will definitely be available after. We always make our lectures available afterwards and whatnot. He was able to give me foresight of what is to come. So when things were going crazy, it wasn't really affecting me and whatnot. Just life was lifing, but I was able to not be affected by all of the crazy shit that was going on just in the world. So I
mm,
want to say thank you for that.
mm.
But yeah, man, you want to leave them with any words of wisdom?
Well, I just would say salute, love, honor, and respect. I love building with the KTL community.
Yes.
Uh,
I'm gonna do this too. I'm sorry. Go ahead and
y'all
finish.
help me grow and evolve.
Right.
This is
Grow
part of
and
the
evolve.
process coming together. And like how you said, this was a black moon tonight, and us coming together is going to be our ritual. I agree.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, I agree. Like,
Do you want to set it off, or you want me to set it off tonight? How you want to do it?
oh no, man, you're gonna set it off. We gotta
Nah, I
take
think I want you to set it
we
off,
gotta
man.
take the red pill first.
You gotta take the red, because really, yeah, I'm 24. I'm reviewing the year, and then he's taking us into the future.
Yeah.
So that's how we're gonna do it. And Spirit was telling me for everybody that gets their ticket tonight to make the 2024 lecture that we did, this one, make this available for you so you could just have it in your collection, because truthfully it's really about studying the sciences that the brother's bringing forward. You know what I mean? It's about studying that science of this chart. This is the shit right here, the chart. I'm telling you, this is the science. This is the trick bag. And like he explained, he didn't just pick this up on a YouTube video down. You know what I mean? This took time. This was not something that came easily. This was thousands of hours of research. He put in his master degree and whatnot. So, but it's definitely worth knowing. It's
Yeah.
a skill set that's worth knowing.
I would say what we do is we take a picture of the sky at
Yes.
January 1st at high noon, right? And from a major, of course, a picture of the sky is going to look different in Atlanta than Philly, you know. But we
Yeah,
take,
definitely.
but if it's a geomantically relevant place on Earth,
Mm-hmm.
you can work for it, work with it, right?
Right.
And we take a picture of the sky at high noon from a geomantically relevant place on the Earth because at high noon, the sun is manifesting the peak or pinnacle of that day, right? So
Mm-hmm.
what they would say is that peak expression of high noon January 1st is a microcosm expression of the next calendar year.
Right.
So that is the angle that we take in studying the stars,
Right.
The the high noon chart, January 1st,
Okay.
an analysis of that gives us a look at, and just like we have an identity, right? That we can
Mm-hmm.
study a chart and learn about that identity, so does a year. A year has an identity.
Wow.
So we take a
They
picture.
surely do.
Yeah, years have
Surely
identity.
do. You be
Yeah,
talking about, yo, 94, son.
exactly.
Yo, da da da
Exactly.
da da. These years have personalities to them.
Exactly. And so that's what we do. We're, and we having fun with it, man. We're not like you know,
Yes,
it ain't
sir.
that deep. It ain't that
Right. This is not no doom and gloom. This is not no, oh,
yeah, yeah,
it's just
yeah. We're
pure,
having fun.
yeah.
We're we're taking a picture of the sky to get the
Right.
identity of the year, and we're you know studying it and recording it, and then we get to reflect back and see how that vision, how clear it was,
Yes, sir.
and give thanks because my teacher Baba Kofi,
You
hey,
making them proud.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You making
yeah.
them proud. He saw
Uh,
something in you and he tapped you on the shoulders. And as the master student, you sat at his feet. And now you over here teaching others and whatnot and giving them this wisdom that they could pass down throughout generations. So I
yeah,
want to say honors and
yeah.
I want to give you thanks. I will see you in
Tonight,
15 minutes.
tonight. All right, my
Tonight,
brother.
you know what I mean? Under this
All
moon
right.
and whatnot, we finna cook and turn up. I've been in a lab for many, many moons doing the research. So I just want to get this out my system. It's almost like giving birth and whatnot.
Hmm.
And just continue to I want to play the game. I want to put some points on the board. You know what I mean?
Right,
This is
all
still a
right.
this is still a sport to me.
And I know you
So
want to sit on the bench for a minute, take a breath. So let's
I'm
do
on
that.
my LeBron shit. You feel
And I
me?
know
Like
I've
I'm,
been
I'm
running
ready to go
my mouth.
to.
I apologize. My Empress
Nah,
just
no,
brought
you
a
good.
beautiful plate in for me to partake. So
And
yeah, I see you.
definitely. How them cats doing? They
Uh,
good?
I'm learning, man.
The cats, the little cats, they all right? The kittens?
They teaching me a
They
lot.
teaching you a lot, right?
Learning. I'm
That's
learning.
beautiful.
I'm learning a lot about our nature and animal nature.
That's dope, bro.
I could say,
All
yeah,
right,
yeah.
man. Love and light.
Salute, love,
Salute.
honor, respect.
Shout out to all of the KTLians. Copper Moon and my other mod. Email me, please, so I can get y'all link. All of my Patreons, Rainbow Opal and up. Go and check your inbox. You got your link. You sent it out earlier. And everybody else, you should have your link. And we will see you in class. With that being said, peace, love, and light. And if we don't see you before the new fiscal year, oh yeah, tomorrow, don't even stop. Tomorrow in the beautiful state of the ATL, we have a soft opening, all right, in the daytime from the hours of 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. at our new venue that we're opening up in Atlanta. We have a soft opening from 2 to 7, and then from 8 p.m. to 2 a.m., we are going to have a ticketed event. This is a New Year's Eve a New Year celebration. We're gonna be celebrating life, popping bottles, food and drink available, 420. We'll be live streaming. We'll be doing networking. We'll be getting it in. So if you are in Atlanta, 488 Edgewood Avenue, but you need to RSVP, you cannot just walk up in there. It's limited seating / standing and all of that. You know what I'm saying? It's limited room. So make sure you get your ticket and pull up and enjoy the and wind up, wrap this one up with us. You know what I'm saying? Wrap it up with us and let's enjoy life. That being said, peace, love.
Red, blue, purple light, friends. Red, blue, purple light, friends. Facts. Red, blue, purple light, friends. Red and blue, purple light, friends. Facts. Get to know the ledger, sacrilegious Sunday to Melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the ego. Then I opened my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah. We gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts. Peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light to the family. Peace, love and light to the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you and it's going to provoke you and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.